We're back, SFA News live from Moscone Center at the Fancy Food Show 2018. This morning, I talked about our panel a bit. One of our panel members, Harley Butler from Shipt, was on it. Harley, what you guys are doing is fabulous. Shipt sold to Target for $550 million a couple weeks ago. A relatively newcomer to the space. I think you're 3 years old?
3 years old, yes.
Yeah, so what you and Bill have created, exceptional. I want to talk a bit about delivery. And obviously what we heard on the panel this morning, everybody is talking about delivery. Everybody wants delivery in 10 minutes. Everybody wants their shopper to be the best qualified shopper ever. Is the next iteration where the shopper is going to come home and cook the meal for us so we can just never get out of our chair. I remember, years ago, this whole vision of what the internet and computers were is people are just going to be sitting in that lazy boy chair and everything was going to come to them. Is that what's going on?
I love that analogy. I think ultimately, it's very hard to guess what's going on, but there has been a lot of movement in the last couple of years, and we've certainly seen that home deliveries, the growth is exceptional. It's a rocket ship, and we're enjoying that part of it. If I had to guess what the next few years and 10 years looks like, I believe it's still a combination thereof of what's happening today. So there is still a need and a desire for consumers to go to the grocery store, to look at the produce, to get inspired, to get ideas for that day. And then there's the convenience factor, which a service like Shipt offers, where you can have certain items and discover new items and have those delivered to you from a convenience standpoint. And then there's click and collect and just general online shopping. So if I had to get the crystal ball out, I would say some combination thereof in the future, but we're obviously in a very exciting space at the moment and just really looking forward to the next steps.
So what I'm seeing is yourselves, Instacart, Fresh Direct, Peapod, really the full array of what's in a grocery store being delivered. Mm-hmm. And then what I'm seeing are these smaller, very local, hyper-local companies thrive here in San Francisco, Milk and Eggs in Los Angeles. These delivery companies that are more curated, that might not have available 10, 20,000 products, but might just have one type of cheddar cheese from one producer. How do they fit into this big scheme of delivery?
People want to get inspiration, right? And so whether it's online, curated content, recipe sites, meal deliveries, meal services, meal plannings, I think there's always a niche for that. What you'll see from Shipt in the coming months and years is more inspiration that we offer our members, more ideas about what they can cook that day, that week. And the opportunity to discover new products, and whether that's products that we get from our existing retail partners or whether it's through CPG opportunities, that is meaningful add, we think, to our members.
So talk to me, and Shipt is not yet in Los Angeles, so I am not a member and a user, but I do use the other delivery services that are there. How are you going to communicate that to me? Because I've got to tell you, today, the communication that I receive from these delivery services are mediocre at best. The only communication I get is that while my person is picking, is shopping for me, the items that they have to replace or they pick the wrong item and I've got to text them. I mean, I don't see a lot of personal communication going on. So how is Shipt different than that?
I think you nailed it. It's all about the experience from the ad that you see and your understanding of the service to sign up to your first delivery, who you're working with, who the shopper is, what that communication flow is. And there's a nice balance that we believe we're striking, which is we want to communicate with the member. We want to let them know that there's an item that's out of stock. But we also don't want to burden them with too many too many text messages or phone calls. And so we're trying to strike the right balance of, okay, are we pairing the same shopper and member so that they can replicate that experience? What is the relationship between the retailer and our shoppers? If there's eggs are out, there's probably some in the back stock room, and so they have that relationship formed and be able to get that, so there is no sort of out of stock issues. And then all the way through to that delivery piece that we talked about this morning on the panel. We want that experience to be flawless. We place a lot of emphasis on that. We promote that in our marketing, and then we see that in our high retention numbers. We're a subscription service, and that speaks to why our retention numbers are high.
So I want to pick up on a point that you just mentioned. Again, both in New York and in Los Angeles, I've used grocery delivery services, and I've used them since they've been out. So I'm going back to Peapod days. 20 years I've used Peapod. In all that time, I have never had the same person shop and deliver my groceries to me. It's been faceless. I mean, I see their picture on the app, but there is no relationship. So talk to me a bit about what you mean by, having a relationship with that shopper.
We love this piece. So what we've done is we've built an algorithm essentially that works in the background based on the rating that you have given your shopper to pair you again with that same shopper. And provided you have a good experience, then we replicate that same experience again, and we give the shopper the ability to take notes and share those with other shoppers who may be servicing that same member. So for example, a dog's name or a kid's birthday, just little things that help that personalization engine kick in makes a world of a difference. And all of our metrics that we monitor have a very, very strong positive impact from this reoccurring repeat ordering system that we enact.
Well, Harley, I can tell why Target wrote a check for $550 million, because in looking at all these delivery services, I think you and Bill have really figured this out, and bringing it back to the customer, the consumer, and understanding that it's not just about convenience and delivery, but it's about creating a relationship. So thank
100%.
you. Thank you for being on the panel.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Great success.
Cheers.
And get some service in Santa Monica, California.
Working
we
on
need
it.
you.
All right, cheers.
We're going to take a break for probably about 20 minutes. We're going to head back to the show floor, take some more video of more exciting foods, and we'll be back right here at SFA News Live. Don't forget, the front burner competition is happening this afternoon, late this afternoon, right here, and it's going to be fabulous. Tomorrow, the disruptor panel, you want not to miss this. It's at 8:30 in the morning, room 205. You're going to hear from the people who are disrupting the food business, and we're all going to learn a lot. And Phil Kafarakis is going to be moderating that session not to be missed. And again, just thousands of more people coming in by the droves. The show is not nearly over. We're only about halfway through, so be sure to join us later today.